Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Sechawayo, a.k.a. Coach Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE show. Cousin Tracy,
So,
we are back at it, episode 83. You know what I'm saying? Moving right along, you know what I mean? Just in the BYRDCAGE, giving our humble opinion about some things, you know what I'm saying? And first of all, I want to give a, shout out to my squad real quick. Finished the week 3-0, taking us to 13-4. 9-0 in the division. So just want to
well, y'all
keep
might be
keep
doing
keep
a little
rocking and rolling.
something.
You know what I'm saying? Just gonna keep rocking and rolling. So definitely shout out to my West Tech Panthers. You know what I'm saying? And today, in light of the passing of another young brown, you know what I'm saying, male, you know what I'm saying? We just want to speak on that a little bit and give our opinions about the situation. The sports world has been talking about it. You know what I mean? And if you don't know what we're talking about, in Memphis, with Tyree Nichols, 29 years old, traffic stop. Cops claimed he was driving reckless, but can't find no video proof of that. Got him out the car. Little struggle ensued. At one point, he ran. They caught up to him, and they pretty much just beat him to death. I mean, he died 3 days later from the injuries he sustained. You know, it don't stop, cuz. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Like, I'm tired of having these conversations. You know what I mean?
so I didn't watch the video. They released the footage of the
Footage is
car
out.
stop.
I didn't watch it either. I didn't want to watch it. I just read the articles and all
As
that, but I didn't want to watch it.
I didn't read too much on the articles. As an ex-police officer, I am sickened by the occurrence and that they looked like me. Not that it's acceptable practice for anybody who wears a uniform to to do this and take their authority to another level to where they brutalize someone that was arrested, and I believe he may have been cuffed at one point.
He was cuffed. Yep. At one point, when he I think when he took a couple blows to the face, he was handcuffed, hands behind his back.
So again, I choose not to partake in casual conversation about the issue. I choose not to watch the video. And again, I'm a retired Kansas City police officer. I served a little over 20 years. I retired in good standing. I don't have any blemishes on my record. And I am disgusted by the fact that they look like me. And the reason why I say this is because all the years I was a police officer, I advocated for more of us. Because my theory was we can't make a change if we're not in the fight.
Right.
You can't stand on the outside of the ring and complain if you're not in a fight. So I figured if enough of us become cops, lawyers, doctors, nurses, we can change the outcomes for people that look like us, the black and brown and the impoverished, right?
Right.
But I also know that when some of us put that gun and badge on, their mindset changed. Now they become better than.
Gotcha.
Right? And I've watched some of us in Camden get their uniform on and then they forget who they are and where they came from. And they have that I'm better than and these people and them and those and they ain't and they projects and they're I watched it, right? And I used to check them. And anybody that know me, that ever worked with me, they will tell you in roll call, I used to check folk.
Right.
Don't do that dumb shit.
Right.
When I pull up, because I'm writing everybody up, I don't care. Right. That's not what we're doing. But I do know that a lot of times some of us, the black and brown, they forget that they black and brown. They become blue.
Right. Yeah.
And what people fail to realize is that law enforcement officers are part of one of the biggest gangs in the world. You go anywhere in the world and tell them you're a police officer, you get props.
Right.
And for this tragedy to happen, Their asses need to go to prison, and they don't need to be in PC. They need
Yeah.
to get what they get because they was wrong.
Right. Right.
You can't make change by inflicting harm and pain
Mm-hmm.
on a car. And the chief gets on the radio, I mean on the news, and she said, by the way, I didn't know Memphis Chief was a woman.
I
Shouts
didn't know
out
that either.
to old girl. And she's pretty.
I didn't know that either.
Not that that makes a difference, but she's pretty. So she gets on there and says, we can't find any footage of reckless driving.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's an ongoing investigation.
Right.
It don't take 5 grown men to effectively make that kind of arrest on a car stop. It was sick.
I agree.
I'm sickened by it. I'm sickened by it. I refuse to watch the video.
Yeah,
I just
and I knew that's why I wanted to just talk about it a little bit, just to get your point of view, because you are, you know what I'm saying, a retired police officer. You know what I mean, and I figured this would be your reaction. You know what I'm saying? I figured that, and I'm the same way like you. Like, I mean, really, like.
And I'm telling you,
And to do this, not like you said earlier, not that it's acceptable any color, but
right.
like
But
like
it's
one of ours,
we
like
us.
come on, we us, like
Right. And again, my thing was, even when I wore the uniform because I always wanted to bridge the gap between the community and law enforcement. I wanted our kids and young people to see that all of us wasn't, you know what I mean? We're out
facts.
here to help. We really took the job to help, and we want to make a difference in our community, right? That was really what I took the oath and what I did. And
Right.
what I tried to be a change maker, right? When I wore that uniform. And I tried to help.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my thing was, for a long time growing up, we had police officers that looked like us, but it wasn't a whole lot.
Right.
So I
facts.
figured when they opened up the door for us, let's make the change. Let's wear the uniform. Let's be part of it. But I ain't gonna hold you. I do know some brothers and some Hispanics that put on their uniform and they become clear.
I mean, I believe you. I definitely believe you. I mean, actually, I've I mean,
And then also too,
I've seen it actually.
Also too, let's be honest. Nothing. Listen, like I said, I wore that uniform proudly, but I'm gonna tell you, most cops are either ex-athletes, people that came out the military couldn't find jobs, or corny dudes that's trying to be somebody.
Trying to be somebody now.
So when they put that badge on, they think they tough, right? You was the joker that was getting your lunch money stolen in high school.
Right.
Now
you RoboCop.
Right. So there's 3 type of people that become law enforcement. Or now you got to add women to it, right? Because you got a lot of women now that wear the uniform, and a lot of them, and this is my opinion, a lot of us were ex-athletes. At the time I got on, mothers who were looking for a career. And then you got some of them that was tiny women that really, really want you to think that they kick ass, like they tough, right? Everybody they put their uniform on, everybody want to act like they tough. They forget that they're human. Right? So with that being said, I don't know these guys from Memphis, but what I do know is this. Y'all really showed that y'all was weak because 5 of y'all.
Yeah, that's
and 5 of y'all. And I don't give a shit if one of y'all didn't put your hands on that guy. The fact that y'all sat there and watched that bullshit, y'all deserve to go to prison too and not get out.
Yeah, no. That was, and then they were saying just like the one article I read, just like even when the ambulance and everything got there, he wasn't treated right away. You know what I'm saying? Like this kid is, you can tell he's been worked over, like, and just like they tried to sit him up, he fell over, whatever the article was saying, and they really didn't attend to him until about like 20, 21, 25 minutes later. Then they wanted to,
and that's because you know what I'm saying? There is a major disparity on how they treat us, how they respond to us, how they give us medical attention. That's all of those facts is real. It's real. And we see it every day and it's not changing.
Right. That's my thing.
No matter how much education we get, no matter how many jobs, it's not changing. When they see us, they still see nothing but less than.
Yep.
And nobody deserved that.
No, not at all. And even amongst ourselves, like you said, you know what I mean? Because these were 5 black police officers that did this to a black man.
Right. And black men who probably at some point in their life was looked at as being feared, right?
Right.
Because when you don't, if I don't have a uniform on and you didn't know me, you would never know I was a retired cop.
Right. Facts.
So when people see you, they automatically want to think that you are whatever they think you
Right.
are, right? They don't know your educational background. They don't know what you do for a living.
Right.
They don't know anything. Like, people are very judgmental, and that's
Very.
just how life is.
That-
That's
well,
just
yeah,
how
that's
life
just how
is.
life is.
That's
Right,
how
right,
life is. You know, we're gonna call it
Right,
space. People
right.
just judge. When they see you, they just judge, right?
Right.
So at some point, when y'all wasn't in that uniform, y'all probably know what it felt like to be pulled over
Mm-hmm. Right.
unjustly
Uh-huh.
and had to be like, whoa, here, let me show you I'm on the job. Like, let me show you my
Right.
badge or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or pulled over and you were treated less than.
Right.
So when the day you put the uniform on, you go to work, you do that to somebody else.
Right. Knowing what it is. You know what I'm saying?
And it's just a sad state of affairs
Sure.
because y'all utilized y'all power for evil.
Right. Yep.
And regardless of what people want to think, cops are human, but we do have some power.
Right. No,
We
definitely.
determine with a pin.
Definitely. Yes, with a pin.
With a
Right.
pin.
Right. Facts.
On whether it's indictable
Facts.
or whether it's a DP.
That's crazy.
Whether you get a ticket and go home
Mm-hmm.
or whether we calling the judge for bail.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how we verbalize what transpired.
Right. Right.
So we do have power, right?
Definitely.
Also, at our fingertips, with a pull of a trigger, we have the right to end your life.
Yep.
And we could be justified in doing it.
Yeah, we've seen
Depending
it.
on how that pin right.
Right, yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it too much. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's the problem.
It's just sad that they use their power for evil. And it's nothing that anybody can say or do that's going to console this family, that lady.
Yeah.
And I understand when she got out there and spoke, she said, you know, she's still trying to grieve her son.
Right.
But the fact of the matter remains is she's never going to get over this. She lost her son at the hands of people that were supposed to protect and serve.
Yeah. And it's not funny, but it's just crazy. Like, you know, with all technology and body cams and everything else that these cops still do it. It ain't like back in the day when you couldn't see the footage.
And that's
my thing. You know somebody's going to see the footage.
Right. That's my
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still acting crazy like this? Like, what's wrong with you?
And they got cameras on the vehicles.
Yeah, on the
cameras on the uniform.
Right? Yeah, like,
but they got also cameras in the vehicle.
In the vehicle.
And then every major thoroughfare has cameras on the poles.
Right? Yeah, that's
so then you got people with Ring cameras that pick up what's going on in front of their houses. Because I know my camera get my whole block.
Mine too, for the most part. Yeah, nah.
You know, so my thing is, even with technology, and y'all know.
And you know, it ain't like it's hitting technology.
You
know you got your body cam on. You know what I'm saying?
The moment you go for one, you're supposed to activate your body camera and your camera in your car.
Right.
And it's supposed to run the whole time.
Right.
They can tell when you cut it off. And then for those officers that may be watching that work for Camden County Metro, I'm going to tell y'all something y'all probably already know, but I'm going to remind y'all. The commanders can watch our body cameras from home. They can sit in their living room at their dining room table and watch body cameras from home. And the only reason why I know is because I had a run-in with a cop, and he was being nasty.
Okay.
And I kept saying to him, sir, with all due respect, I have nothing else to say to you.
Right.
Sir, please, I have nothing else to say to you. Listen, I don't have nothing else to say to you. And he was antagonizing me. So then the person that was there said to him, do you know who you talking to? And he basically was like, I don't give a shit. And when he said that, I said, you right. And you right. You don't have to care.
Right.
But just know, I know how things go. And how you coming off, bruh, ain't good.
Right.
Well, a commander seen the body camera and called me like the Sunday and was like, listen, go to IA and sign a complaint.
Right.
And I said, nah, I ain't doing that. What I need y'all to do is to retrain these jokers.
Right.
Because number one, they in the community and they don't know nobody. They don't know who people are. And it don't even matter that I'm a retired cop. I'm a resident, and they was blatantly disrespectful, and that's who they are.
Right.
That's who they are, right? So that's why I tell all the young people that I come encounter with, that has driver's license, y'all get pulled, especially the young women, y'all
Right.
get pulled over, go to a lighted area, hit your inside light, take your hands off your steering wheel, put your car in park, keep your hands up. Like, I give them the whole rundown.
And I was going to bring that up too, because this is a teachable moment, not only for our student athletes, but for grown folk too. Like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
So
It's
just
certain
always
things.
remember, you do have the right to ask what you're being pulled over for. But just know a lot of these cops also will not tell you.
Right.
When they ask for your paperwork, if your paperwork is in your glove compartment, please advise the officer, keep your hands up, advise the officer, my paperwork is in my glove compartment. Is it okay if I retrieve it? Remember, comply with all orders, all demands. Just try to comply as best as you can.
Right.
Know that if the body camera isn't on, hopefully the camera on the vehicle, the dash camera's on, and can catch everything just in case things go left.
Right.
I give this advice to anybody, and I even have to take the advice myself. When pulled over, I immediately turn on my inside light. I make sure I pull over in a safe area where it's lit. I put my hands up. I roll my window complete down, all of my windows, especially for those that have tinted windows.
Yeah.
As the cop is pulling, before the cop gets out his vehicle, when he pulls you over, before the cop even steps foot out his vehicle, put all your windows down, back and front. Put all your windows down, turn on your inside light, keep your hands off the steering wheel. When they come, tell them where your paperwork is, get your paperwork, hand it over to the officer, and as you're handing it to the officer, ask politely, what am I being pulled over for? As best as you can, comply with all orders, and knowing that and trusting that the body cameras are on and the dash cameras are on. My thing is this: we can't keep having these conversations.
Right. That's yeah.
We can't keep going back and forth. And the crazy part about it is I know people that still go back and forth.
Right.
It's a losing battle, because at the end of the day, I will tell you this: that pin can make you look like the worst person in the world.
Yep. Yep.
Again, hopefully with technology, a lot of this will stop. But you see, it doesn't.
It doesn't. That's the thing. Still going strong. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
But the stroke of a pin,
too frequent.
The stroke of a pin will determine whether they are right or wrong.
Right. And it's crazy that you say that, because it seemed like I said, I didn't watch the video, but they had, in the article I was reading, they had some of the conversations that the cops were talking about after the incidents, and according to the article with the quotes, like, the cops were saying, like, yeah, he had my gun in his hand, he grabbed my gun, and da 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 da, and you know what I mean, trying to figure out what story they're going to tell, like you said.
It's called creative writing.
So yeah, you're right, exactly.
Creative writing, because think about it. Let's go way back. We're gonna go way back to Ferguson, Michael Brown. That officer, whatever he wrote, he was not found guilty.
Right.
Even though they protested and all of that. In my eye, and in my humble opinion, I believe shooting through his door
Yeah.
made him guilty as fuck. But however he wrote and what he wrote, they chose not to convict him, not to even pursue it. So my thing is, just know, in a blink of an eye, you can become more than just a car stop. You can become like a hardened criminal. If the report is written correctly. So again, I would say to all my young people that's watching, to my adults that think they know what they know and want to go back and forth, remember, being a police officer and being part of a police department, you are part of one of the biggest gangs in the country. More importantly, at the stroke of a pen, I could make you look like a monster. And lastly, please, 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 please just follow instructions and direction. Don't go argue back and forth. Don't go back and forth. Ask nicely. What am I being pulled over for? If they don't comply and they don't give you what your response is, understand this: you always live to call your lawyer in the morning.
Yes, that part.
to
use your saying, that part.
That you always live to call your attorney in the morning. So again, I'm going to repeat it one more time because we're about to close out. In the event you're being pulled over, whether you have tinted windows or not, the moment that you're being pulled over, pull to a safe location. For our young women, make sure it's a lit area. Roll down all your windows, front and back, before the police officer steps foot out the vehicle. Turn on your inside light. Keep your hands up. If your paperwork is in your glove compartment when the officer arrives, just let him know that your paperwork is in your glove compartment. Ask him, can you retrieve it? More importantly, as the cop is walking up to your vehicle, do not fiddle around in your glove box. Do not fiddle around in the center console. Do not fiddle around in your pocketbook, because all that motion makes people nervous. And then next thing you know, he's coming to your window with his gun drawn.
Right.
So what we need to do is be safe, take care of ourselves, and understand what I'm telling you is factual. So just
I mean,
know,
hey, if you don't take her advice, like, come on now, you know what I'm saying? She's a
just know I
retired
know what I know.
retired Camden City police officer. You know what I'm saying?
And again,
So,
I will say my prayers and condolences
sheesh.
out to the
Yes,
Nichols family,
definitely.
out to the city of Memphis, because they trusted them guys, right?
Yeah,
They trusted them guys, and you want to trust your police officers and your EMTs and your firefighters. You want
right.
to trust that if something ever happens to you and your children, that they will have
They're
your
gonna be
best interest.
protected.
They'll be protected, and they violated the trust of the people.
Definitely.
And again, the father asks for no violent
Right.
protests.
Yeah, I think that was an article as
Yeah,
well.
no violent
Yeah, don't burn down
protests.
the city.
He said, please don't do that.
Right.
But understand this, be a voice, right?
Yeah.
Be a voice.
Facts.
And if you feel like you have ever been violated, if your rights have been violated, your constitutional rights have been violated, if your liberties have been violated, every police department has an internal affairs department. Like I said, you live to contact your attorney, and you live to sign a complaint. No one is above getting a complaint signed on them. So just know you have rights. Rather, even if you're a suspect or whatever, you have rights. Follow their orders, follow their commands to the best of your ability, and just know if you feel like that your liberties or your constitutional rights have been violated, every police department has an internal affairs or a prosecutor's office where you can go do a complaint on the township police officers.
Right.
So like if you're in a town like say Glassboro, and you feel like if you go to the internal affairs of Glassboro and it's not working or they're not giving you what you want, you can always go to Gloucester County Prosecutor's Office. Like if you're in Salem and they're not doing what you want in Pennsgrove, you can always go to Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office. So just know you have your municipalities, you have your prosecutor's office, and then you have the state.
Gotcha.
So there's levels. And there's levels to where you can sign complaints at. So my thing is just know. So it'd be municipal, county, and then state. So just know if you ever feel like your liberties or your rights have been violated, there's always a way to pose a complaint.
There you go. And who else better to hear it from than former officer, cousin TRACEY Hall. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because in the article I was reading too, a couple people that responded from the fire department, they've been put on leave for a little bit until they, investigate what they should have done and didn't do. And I think too, people from the sheriff arrived on the scene later after it was all done, and they have been put on leave as well too.
But the crazy part about it is, and before we go, I'm gonna say this: I could probably imagine when those other officers arrived. Oh shit!
Right.
So now you don't want to get involved, because it's like, y'all done, what the hell? You don't want to jump in your car and drive away because now you ain't do nothing. But then you don't want to, so you kind of like
stuck in the middle. What do I do?
That's the butt cheek moment when your butt cheeks clamp, like,
up.
And it's crazy because real quick, I'm gonna go back. So like my second or third year, it was this little boy in Camden. He was 10 years old, he was still in cars.
Oh, wow.
Like he had it was 28 days in February, he had stole like 32 cars. He used to take a break and he was putting the brake and the gas pedal. Like he was in the seat. Like he just was doing the most. He was 10 years old. I don't even know if the young man is still alive or whatever. So he would have to be well in his 30s, late 30s or whatever. So in the course of him stealing one of the vehicles on Federal Street, he ran over a doctor.
Oh.
I want to say he stole the doctor's Benz, and as the doctor was getting out the car, he hit him, and I think the doctor may have died.
Wow.
It's just like, I'm talking in the early 90s.
Okay.
So now, one night, he's still a car, we in pursuit. They chase him, they get him, boom. These grown-ass men pull this 10-year-old out this car. and commenced to busting his ass.
Oh.
So I pull up, I'm late. I'm like, whoa,
Right,
this
right,
ain't what we doing.
right.
Listen, it don't take grown men to beat no
Beat up
kid.
kid up, yeah.
All you gotta do is take your belt off and beat him.
Right. Give him a real beating.
Because there's a kid out there. He knows who he is. I think he's currently incarcerated, but he was still in cars, and I took off my belt and I beat him in the back of the cop car and took him home to his mother. So, it don't take a bunch of grown men to beat a kid, right? So, but I stopped him.
Right.
I wrote him up, and then that's when the whole thing went around the apartment. Like, Tracy will write you up. Like, she telling. Because my thing is, I had to work my career.
Right.
To take care of my family.
Right.
And I'm not going to get caught up in somebody else's mess.
Right. Facts.
And if I done some stuff, let me figure it out.
Right.
But I'm not going to get caught up in nobody else's mess.
Yeah,
so definitely. A lot of times when officers respond to a scene where stuff like this is taking place, they don't get involved, but you're just as bad.
Right.
If you don't stop your brother officer, you're just as bad.
Gotcha, yeah.
If you don't say, yo, whoa.
Like, what are we doing here?
Like, stop it.
Yeah.
You are just as bad.
Yeah.
So all of them need to go to jail.
Yeah,
and they don't need to be in PC. Let the chips fall where they may. This is how I feel. It's my opinion. It's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. They all need to go to jail. Every last one of them. Yeah. And I'm mad as hell that they looked like me. And I'm mad that we trusted them. We gave them that authority, and they abused it.
Yep. I agree. Oh, hey, I knew. I already knew when I was like, yeah, bring up this topic. Already knew where you stood on it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know what I'm saying? Want to get a folk a little quick update on the risks.
Yeah, so the 31st of January, I go back and hopefully they'll take this brace off. It's moving a little bit better. It kind of feels like I don't got no bones in my thumb. Like it's kind of like wiggly. Yeah, when it's out of the brace.
Take it off, it's gonna hang.
Yeah, that's what it does. It hangs, and I've been trying to move it a little bit. Some days I do too much. Like I'm still having, I guess they call it post-surgery pain. Sharp pains, and I guess that's the nerves reconnecting. And they did remove a little bone in my joint. So I don't know, but hopefully this thing will be off by the 31st because it's cramping my style. But I've been making it do what it do. Hey. I've been coordinating.
Yeah.
Coordinating.
You can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Can't be mad.
So hopefully, not the next episode. 2 episodes from now, maybe this won't be.
Okay, gotcha.
The scar ain't too bad though.
Okay, that's a good
the scar ain't too bad. It kind of healed pretty good.
Okay,
wasn't as long as I thought it was.
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? If this was back in the day, you might have had a scar long as your arm.
But you know what? That's the only reason why I say no, because remember I had the rotator cuff years ago before it was
true.
And my scar, I must heal good because my scar is real faint.
Yeah, true.
So
that's a good. That's a
I'm
good
like
point.
bionic by now. Elbows, knees, shoulders, thumbs, wrists. That's why I say sometimes people don't let your child start playing sports so young because the wear and tear on the body. 4 or 5 wear and tear. Now we in our 50s. Trying to put it all back together.
Trying to put it back together, you know what I'm saying? Knees and everything else, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, but listen, young folks, don't get it twisted. I still got the Meg knees.
She still has them.
Still
you know
has
what I'm saying?
them.
Do not challenge her.
Even though I had a little surgery on them, they still work.
They still work. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, cuz that's 80. I was going to say 84. Getting ahead of myself. That's episode 83. In the books, you know what I'm saying? And once again, like we always do, just thank you for watching and tuning in and all that good stuff. Don't forget, got that merch for you. I got the red one on today.
Yeah, he got the red is hot. I like the red. And don't forget to like, subscribe, get the notifications, tell a friend.
Please do.
Keep tuning in.
Please
we
do.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes, we do. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is the lovely cousin Tracy. And once again, I am Sexuayo, a.k.a. Coach Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show, and we'll talk to you soon.
It was a stone groove, my man.